Hello, my loves. Okay, so welcome to a little rendition of what I like to call There's Nothing Fucking Wrong with You. Something that I've realized has come up over and over again in my client calls this week and just like in our culture, especially right now with everything that's going on, is this hyper obsession with fixing ourselves, whether it's manipulating our weight or trying to get to the next level in our business or doing the deep spiritual work. All of this is good, but when there's this energy behind it of fixing, of pushing, of like striving, there can be a sense of diminishing returns, right? Because what you practice is what you get. So if you're practicing fixing yourself all the time or pushing yourself all the time, you're just going to have more stress and more things wrong with you that you're seeing in yourself and your business. However, when you start to really feed the aspects of you that are going well, that are doing good, that you do love, when you double down on the activities in your business that are making a result rather than looking to like the next thing and the next thing and the next shiny object, that's when you get the most traction and the most results. Oftentimes we think it's really spiritual to be constantly doing the self-work and the inner work and fixing and trying and all the stuff. But actually there's a lot of ego attached to that, right? This idea that there's something wrong, that we have to like complicate things in order to like control it and make sure that if we get it just right, then we'll somehow be lovable. But that's not it, okay? So a conversation I had with a client today made me realize that I don't talk about this very often, but the thing that does get you to the other side, that thing that does allow you to have more incredible results and a transformation and really transcend your current limitations, does take consistent effort, but it's not the effort that feels like just beating ourselves up inside or telling ourselves we have to do it better, 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 more, 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 do. That thing sounds very convincing, that we are being productive, that we're being efficient, that we're getting shit done, when really that inner grr is what keeps us stuck. So what actually makes the change is to really get clear on what it is that you really desire. What would it look like and feel like for you to be in full self-expression, for you to be fully healthy and aligned and vibrant? What would it look like for you to really step into your $1 million mindset in your business and really get into the energetics of that and like really feel into that? And the next piece, which people just kind of like throw out the window with spirituality, which is like kind of ironic and funny, is that we don't surrender to spirit. Okay, so surrendering to spirit is one of the most important things, where we actually sit and we pray and we say, here's where I want to go. And I know this fully in my heart, but this is for the highest good. Please use me in order to help the most people, make the most change, like help me desire the foods that fuel my body, help me remove any blocks to love, help me see in my heart the places where I'm not in forgiveness of myself or others. Please see those places in me that want to push or change or put pressure on myself, and please help alleviate these errors of my thinking and my being so that I may be more loving than ever before, so that I may be capable of what I never imagined possible. Please remove these defects of my character, these defaults of my thinking, so that I can see with more love, so that I can see with more clarity and forge a new path forward. When you pray in this way and you actually surrender it, then you get a change. Because when we take the same thinking that got us into a situation and try to use it to get us out of it, it's never going to work. So one example in my own life is weight loss, right? I would always tell myself, you don't look good, gotta get rid of the belly rolls, gotta do the things, like, oh, like you have to start over on Monday. But did I actually do setups all the time? Did I have a plan for actually getting that hot body that I wanted? Had I done the inner work to stop pressuring myself and belittling myself and putting all this like stress in my life that actually made me want to binge eat? No, I didn't do any of that. I just was hard on myself. We think when we're hard on ourselves, we're getting somewhere, and that is the ultimate flaw in perception. When we're hard on ourselves, we actually slow and stagnate our progress, okay? So what we need to do is get clear. We need to surrender it to spirit. We need to ask for anything that's blocking us to be removed, and then be guided to the next steps. So when I finally, after 20 years of struggling, got on my knees and I prayed and I said, God, Spirit, whoever's listening, and you don't need to know who you're talking to, by the way. This is not a religion. This is just a way of interacting with the universe to create a life that you want. It works for everybody. Don't need to know who you're talking to. But with a really sincere heart, I said, if you help me get to that other side of the struggle of food and weight in my body, I will try to teach and show as many women as I possibly can so that they can be free too. I know that when I'm no longer suffering and struggling with my body and with my weight, that there's freedom, there's something for me on the other side. I want you to use me to be a force for good in the world and remove this block, remove this pain, remove this struggle and suffering so that I can be more available to create the change that's so necessary and needed in the world. That sounds a shitload different than you need to get your shit together and go to the gym on Monday. You look gross, right? That's some bullshit, but this is the damn truth. When you really connect to that, then you create a breakthrough in energy, you create a breakthrough in perception, you literally create a miracle. So when you pray in that way and you really do it with a full heart, and you sometimes have to do it every day if you need to, just to really align with that new way of being, then you're guided by grace. Then you're able to have new outcomes and take new actions that you would not have been guided to by your lower self or by your ego. That's when we pray. It's not putting it in an order with God. It's not trying to do a thing so you get checked off on the good girl list. It's about aligning your energetics with divine love, with possibility and ultimate potential. When you align with that vibration and that frequency and that way of thinking, then you're able to transcend your barriers and really create the life, the business, the income, the relationships, and the body that you want. So my challenge for you this week is, do you have a prayer practice? Do you have a practice of surrendering? Do you have a practice of actually getting clear on what you want and asking for support and receiving it? Or do you try to do it all yourself? Where are you pushing or struggling right now? And is there a way that you can start to shift that so that you can be more in the energetics of love, of surrender, and of grace? Would love to hear how this lands with you. As always, I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you soon.